E30. The E30 M3 was never supposed to be a road car. BMW needed to build 5,000 units to homologate it for the German Touring Car Championship and Group A racing. The four-cylinder engine used a cylinder head derived from the BMW M1 supercar. It made just 200 horsepower from 2.3 liters, which Americans found embarrassing next to their V8 muscle cars. BMW almost did not bring the E30 to the United States until enthusiasts flooded the M Division head's office with letters promising they would buy it if the price was reasonable. The E30 was never officially sold in the UK, and no right-hand drive version was ever made. It became the most successful touring car in racing history. Only the body shell and the windshield were carried over from the standard 3 Series. Everything else was new. The car weighed just 1,275 kilograms, nearly 700 kilos less than the G80 that carries the same badge today. BMW intended to build 5,000. Demand was so high they built 16,949. The convertible is the rarest at fewer than 800 units. In 2011, BMW M revealed they had been using an E30 M3 converted into a pickup truck as a workshop transport vehicle for 26 years. E36. The E36 switched to a 3-liter inline-6, the engine layout that would define every M3 after it. It introduced BMW's Vanos variable camshaft timing system, which has been used in every BMW engine since. It was the first M3 available as a 4-door sedan, the first M3 with a 6-speed manual, and the first M3 where you could order an automatic. Europe got 286 horsepower. America got 240 because BMW fitted a different, cheaper engine with fewer performance components. The power gap between the European and American versions was never closed during the car's entire production run. BMW made a US-only M3 lightweight for homologation, stripping sound insulation, air conditioning, and most power accessories to save weight for racing. The E36 is the generation that made the M3 a volume product instead of a homologation exercise. E46. The E46 is the one everybody argues is the best M3 ever made. Car Throttle called it the M3's coming of age. It used a 3.2-liter inline-6, making 333 horsepower in European spec, with individual throttle bodies and a red line at 8,000 RPM. The chrome side vents that would become a signature M3 detail first appeared here. They were designed as functional cooling ducts during development. BMW built a touring prototype but never put it into production. The CSL stripped 110 kilos by removing the radio, navigation, air conditioning, and the rear seats, and used a single-clutch automated manual gearbox called SMG that was considered revolutionary at the time. Over 85,000 E46 M3s were sold worldwide, making it the highest-selling M3 generation in history. It was also the first generation where Europe and America received essentially the same engine, ending the power gap that had angered US buyers for a decade. E92. The E92 is the only M3 ever built with a V8. The 4-liter S65 was derived from the BMW M5's V10 and revved to 8,400 RPM, making 414 horsepower. The carbon fiber roof debuted here to lower the center of gravity and reduce weight. It was also the last M3 with hydraulic power steering, the feature that purists still consider the dividing line between analog and digital M3s. BMW returned to the DTM after a 20-year absence and won the Drivers' Championship, the Manufacturers' Championship, and 5 out of 10 races in its debut season. The M3 GT2 competed at Le Mans and won the 24 Hours of Nürburgring. Jeff Koons turned one into the 17th BMW Art Car. A Lime Rock Park Edition in fire orange with a titanium exhaust has been called BMW's most complete sports car ever. The V8 was glorious, but it had a known rod bearing issue that could destroy the engine without warning. BMW also offered the E90 sedan version for the first time since the E36, giving buyers who needed rear doors access to the V8 M3 experience. F80. The F80 was cursed from birth. It had to follow 3 generations of naturally aspirated legends, and it did it with turbocharging. The 3-liter twin-turbo S55 inline-6 made 425 horsepower with 406 pound-feet of torque, 100 pound-feet more than the V8 it replaced. car and driver called it a car you respect but do not love. The coupe and convertible were split off and renamed M4, making the F80 the first M3 sold exclusively as a sedan. The hood was aluminum. The roof and prop shaft were carbon fiber. The strut brace weighed just 1.5 kilograms. A competition package raised output to 450 horsepower. The CS went further with 454, a carbon hood, and a top speed limiter raised from 155 to 174 miles per hour. The F80 was brutally fast but felt clinical. It did everything right on paper and left many drivers feeling nothing. G80. The G80 arrived with the most controversial design decision in M3 history. The oversized kidney grille was universally mocked when it was revealed. 3 years later, most people stopped caring. The S58 twin-turbo inline-6 makes 473 horsepower in standard form and 503 in competition spec. For the first time in 35 years, the M3 is available with all-wheel drive. The rear-wheel drive model keeps the 6-speed manual. The all-wheel drive competition uses an 8-speed torque converter automatic and hits 62 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. The M3 CS makes 550 horsepower and does it in 3.4. BMW finally built the M3 Touring that fans had begged for since the E46 prototype was shown decades ago. It is the first M3 estate in the car's entire history. The giant grille that everyone hated has already started appearing on the used market at prices suggesting collectors disagree with the critics. Every generation of M3 has been controversial in its own way. The only constant across 39 years is that each one was the best sports sedan you could buy when it was new.